Okay, this is 2-point perspective. This is my favorite because it's working a formula and it seems to give you the answers that you're looking for when it comes to making a transparent sort of glass-like box, if you will. All right, so you set up a horizon line and you put 2 points, these 2 vanishing points, as opposed to with 1 point. You use 1, 2 is 2 points, right? So you're going to put 2 points. I use the edges of my paper because it gives me the most amount of room to work on the inside. So I move them as far off to the edge of the paper as I can. And so what you're going to do is set up the process. Now with 1 point, you start it with a shape, like a square or rectangle. This time, you just start with 1 line because it's going to essentially equate to the corner of a box. So you're going to see 2 sides at the same time, which I love. All right, so pick an area where you want to start your box. I'm just going to start here. You want to keep your lines as straight as possible in all cases. When they go to the vanishing points, again, you want to try to hit your vanishing points each time in the center, like bullseye. So I'm going to start by making a straight line. So here's the beginning of essentially my box. And so I have the top and I have the bottom of this line. So on this side, I'm going to pull 2 lines to vanishing point here. And then this side, I'm going to stretch it to this vanishing point. So let's put these lines in. And this kind of like sets up, let me make sure I get this right. Hold on. Again, make sure you hit your vanishing point as best as you can. Because again, if you make a shift between your vanishing point and your corners, it doesn't always line up. So you really want to get it so it lines up. So stretch it from there to there. And again, by starting this way, I mean, I've seen it done in different ways. This is how I do it. I like to know where I'm going to put my shape and then build the thing. Some people take the vanishing points and just make lines and then just build boxes off of the rays. Again, I just am more like wanting to know where I'm going. So this is why I do it this way. You can watch other videos that show it different ways. It's all the same sort of thing. I just like to know where I'm going. I'm going to just try to pivot this down. Make sure I hit the bottom here. Make sure I hit my dot in the same place as possible. Yes. All right, so now I have, like if I'm standing on the street corner, I could see one side and the other side. It's like, all right. So decide how big you want your box to be. It could be really narrow, it could be really long, narrow or long. Again, totally up to you. I think I will do this one chunky on this side, kind of like a nice amount of space. I'm going to go on to show you an opening later, so I like to have enough space to be able to show you. So that's the stopping point for that box. And this side, I'll do sort of the same, where it gives me plenty of room to be able to show you an opening later. So I'm going to just make it nice and chunky now so that I can show you. So this is a really lovely size, which would essentially maybe become a house or something like that. So this is what we're kind of looking at. This is going to be this and this. So now we're going to finish off the top and bottom, top and bottom. So the way to do that is we started here, we stretched it, we decided where we're going to end our box. We're keeping our lines as parallel. Again, with graph paper, it makes it pretty easy. But if you're doing it on regular paper like you are, you just want to make sure that you always keep this really straight 90-degree area, like just hit it each time. If it goes off like this, your lines are going to be off and it's never going to line up perfectly. So that's the key. You want to make sure your lines are really straight. So that's why drawing it from hand drawing it without a ruler, crazy impossible. Just takes a lot of accuracy and patience. All right, so I'm going to start with this side. Just starting on the left side, what's here, I'm going to shoot it over to the right. What's on the right is going over to the left. It just means it just intersects. So top and bottom, I'm going to run this all the way over. This is why it's good to have a really nice long ruler to help you out, get it from here. Make sure it hits it. What I usually do is I plant my pencil on the spot, hit my ruler, and then just try that, like that. Go down, let's see if you can keep my paper from shifting here. Keep this on the spot. There, Okay, ooh, it's getting close to this. See how close it is? It's just the nature of how you draw your boxes sometimes. This side, I'm gonna go up to the top. Go over to here and go down to here. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's pretty good. All right, let's hope for the best. Oh, it did. Okay, so what you want to do is when you have this, when you throw two sides over to there and two sides over to there, what you start to see is that there's an intersection here and an intersection here. And if you've kept your lines really balanced and straight and everything kind of, you know, is in square, as they say, what happens is you're going to find that this and this, let's get my ruler up against it, comes right down. And that forms the four corners and makes this whole wonderful glass box, if you will. So, hooray. But as you can see, this is really messy. So take a few seconds and just go and clean up the things that you don't need. So I don't need this. And again, this kind of just helps you see what you're looking at. So I'm just going to come through. Also, work as light as you can so that erasing is easier. You're not going to stain your paper with graphite. All right. And it just takes a little bit of time to really get it backed out so you're not like confused. That's the main thing, is that you're getting rid of these for right now, just so that you're not confused with what you're looking at. Because if you're going to put more boxes, and you will, you just definitely want to be able to not get confused with all the lines that are shooting out from these vanishing points. So essentially you're getting something that, I'm going to take off the little circles because they're a little messy, and I'll just put back in, just go over my little lines like this, clean it up, making sure it's nice. Try really hard to get this here, make this, and put that back in, clean that back up. Just need a little bit there. This guy, I'm gonna make sure that's a little bit darker, just from there to there. It makes it a little bit more cleaner, solid. All right, so now you have box is the same thing as if it was above, right? Just like below. And so if I was doing another one, how do I start another one? Well, you just decide where you're going to place another box. So you could start a line here. You could start anywhere that you could go. You could just start by making another line and starting the whole formula all over again. So for instance, if I wanted to do, let's say one that goes through the horizon line, I'll start it from here. We'll go high. We'll go really high up here. Let's see if I can get this to work its thing. Pull this up a little bit. I'm gonna go from here down to, let's say, well, we can go right down to this line. Start. That's the start. Okay. Do the same formula. One line gets stretched from here to here. And this is going to be close on this side. I'm going to do it this way because I need to see where I'm going here. So it's a line here, a line here. This is hard because you got to go all the way across. I'm going to grab my ruler, go all the way to this far point, put my point thing down, go to here, there. Make sure I get it. I'm going behind my box. There we are. So that kind of starts that. And how big is it? I mean, like, where does it end on either side? I think I'm going to do it behind this house. I mean, in theory, you'll see it. Or do I want to stop it? Maybe I'll stop it shorter. See, that's the thing. You got to come up with, like, what do you want it to look like? I'm going to make it this deep on this side. I'm sure about that because I like that. But I really want to decide how. I think I'll stop it here before it goes to the back side. I'm just going to, so that you can see it, like all of it. I mean, I could in theory make it go all the way back to here. It's up to you. But so that looks good to me, right? Okay, so that's opaque. meaning that it's not translucent yet. You can't see through it. I'm going to take out the horizon line so it doesn't like kind of confuse me, or just kind of gives it a weird look. There. All right, so now that I've got this, I have to do what happens on one side goes to here, what happens on here goes to there. So I'm going to pull it over to here. You can tell I'm getting goofy doing this because I've done it so much already today. And I'm starting like la la la. So this goes over to here, right? Because this is on top. It goes here. This one down here also has to go over to there. See if I can't get my lines to there. All right, so we've got that. So now this side has to go over to there. So again, all you're doing is stretching all four corners from one side to the next. Now, if you have made this kind of, oops, see, I don't know if it's gonna do it. I don't know. I could be off. It's getting crazy. Let's see. So, I don't know, I might be off. Oh, it's because I'm not hitting it in the same place. Where is it intersecting? There. Let's see. I hold little hope for this, but so it's here. Oh, I am slightly off. So something, oh, it's because this one's slightly down. Aha. So if you kind of start to see this is where, like, it's supposed to be right here and I'm slightly over here, you just have to figure out how to calibrate your lines. Like somewhere there's like, it might be something like here, and it definitely looks like something up here as a miss. And it's just human nature, our hands, our pencils, our ruler slips. So all you want to do is go back and kind of play it out to see if it's where it's not hitting right. So it could be something like here, maybe. No, that seems more like it might be it's coming closer. Might be over here too. Let me get this over here. Yeah, it needs to be right there. So I think if I fixed it just enough, because the answer is there. You just have to get your lines to slightly tickle into place. Yes, tickle. So let's clean this mess up at the moment because it still has a lot of these little lines here that might be a little confusing. To me they are. I mean, there's a lot going on here. So got that. Let's get this out of the way. This out of the way. And eventually, you know, you can get rid of all these. Get rid of this. Get rid of all these. So essentially this box will stand nicely on its own. Bring back some of the lines. I would do this with a ruler, but for the sake of time in a video, I don't want to exhaust you with this. So I'll just kind of bring them back nicely. So now you have something that goes through the horizon line, something that's below, and essentially something that would be above. And if you look at it different ways, it kind of shows you kind of cool orientations to it, like, ooh, that's neat. So there you have it. That's 2-point perspective boxes. So you would do 1, 2, and a third one for your project.